Twitter, Instagram, all those good joints. Is Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. That's right, y'all. And it is, I don't know, Wednesday, something like that. I'm not sure. And all I'm asking is no matter what day it is, it's supposed to be Kevin's Corner Day. All right, so let's see here. Before we get into the night's discussion, it looks like YouTube did send out a notification. Unbelievable. And so for those that were expecting Kev to be going live early in the morning, like I did yesterday, surprise, I'm back to close to my normal time tonight. And then who knows what will be taking place tomorrow. All right, so let's go ahead and make sure everybody is able to log in. All right, I'm typing some stuff to myself. And I'm liking my own videos. That's right, I'm getting high off my own supply, y'all. High off my own supply. Okay, so while people are logging in, I'm going to try to make it short and sweet. I might as well go ahead and get loose so I can get busy. Now, everybody able to hear me? Able to hear me? 1, 2, check one, check one, check one. Somebody said, wow, it's been a minute. Yeah, Denise, it's been a minute. Actually, it hasn't been a minute. The problem is you probably aren't getting notifications. So you got to either turn your notification on to all, or you just have to check back daily to see if I've made any uploads, which I try to do a live stream every day. I try, except for Saturday and Sunday. Don't always make it, but I try. So people who haven't seen me and caught me, like, man, I ain't seen you in a while. I thought you forgot or stopped doing videos or whatever. And I'm going, no, it's just YouTube. It's just YouTube. So with that being said, let me go ahead and get loose so I can get busy. Get busy, y'all. Busy, y'all. Get busy, y'all. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Turn your fist up and show some respect. That's right, y'all. Yeah, man. Y'all see me start off with the Pee Wee Herman. Get busy, y'all. That's old school dance right there. Yeah, good old Pee Wee. I miss him. No, nobody's hip to that, dude. Yeah, good old Pee Wee. Oh, I guess I'll be on my way then. Yeah. So now, we're not here to talk about Pee Wee Herman. We're here to talk about how evil the Democrats are. That's what we're here to talk about. And I mean extremely evil. I'll be giving you some examples of that tonight as we go. But first, hit the like button, share my videos, follow me on all the other social media platforms, subscribe to my alternative channel, which YouTube is suppressing that one as well. And somebody said my Obama video was awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm going to be touching on his butt one more time tonight as well. And if you want to support the channel through my Cash App, my PayPal link, you can do that as well. Or just contribute through the Super Chat. Or you can simply just like and share my videos and do all the stuff that makes everything go round and round. Now, let's get into this because, see, the question is just how evil are the Democrats? I mean, do their evil have any depth? That means is there a bottom to their evil? To their evil? Is there a top to their evil? Nope, it's unbridled. Their evil right now has no beginning and no end. That's right. Somebody's making some noise. Who's over? It's not Gizmo. It could be Nala. Could be one of the dogs. If I hear it again, it's going to be problems. So with that being said, let's dive into some of the evilness of the Democrats and expose it. Here we go. Oh, don't forget, text MAGA to 330-974-4607. And, check out Kevin's Corner store, too. You can purchase yourself some merch. All right, now let's get into it. Oh, yeah. How evil are the Democrats? Well, we can start off with one area of evilness is immigration. Look what they've done to our border. Yeah, you think they cared about how it would impact these illegal immigrants and us Americans? Nope, They didn't care about the day that might come when all of these folks who came here with the hopes and dreams of getting amnesty because the Biden administration told them, yeah, you know what, you got to search the border. And they all listen to these fools and come running. I don't blame them. I mean, if the people in charge tell you to come, you're like, okay. And it's like the cops that told the people to come into the Capitol. You know, the cops that were at the door guiding people in. Of course, you're going to be like, well, I'm assuming since this person is a person of authority, I could just come right on in. I mean, how are they going to judge me after they told me to come? That's my question. So they told all these people to come. They came. Now they all getting sent home. And it's a shame because many of them are boo-hooing and crying and stuff like that. Most of them that have been apprehended so far are criminals, so they have no reason to even be whining it in the first place. But some of those that got swept up, hey, too bad. You know what I'm saying? Might want to blame Creepy Sleepy and the crew, okay? You might want to blame Mucus and all of them because, see, they didn't care about you. They didn't care about you. If these illegal immigrants think that the Democrats have brought them here because they want them to have a better life, they're delusional. They want to have better clean toilets. They want to have better clean swimming pools and better cheap labor and also better voters too. They want another group of captive, obedient voters, which won't give any resistance because you shouldn't have been here in the first place. You shouldn't have been here in the first place. All you can do really once you get here, if we could give you all amnesty of some sort, is to vote for us and lay low. So they didn't care about them. They didn't care about the dangers these people faced. They didn't care about the day that they might get shipped back to their country. They didn't care. And the same thing about Americans. They don't care about what happens to us. All of this stuff was collateral damage. All of the things, including what we're about to watch real quick, is considered collateral damage for the Democrats. They built that into the cake when they sat around in their big old think tanks and their evil dungeons with their black robes, chanting all of their satanic rituals and stuff, invoking the power of Baal and all of that mess. Yeah, they were sitting around talking about how can we scheme on the American people and replace all of these voters who already see through our crap. How about we open up the border to everybody around the world, regardless of possible terrorists coming in, possible gang members, drug traffickers, human traffickers, drugs. Well, I forget all of that. That stuff might come as well, but hey, what are you going to do? It's the cost of doing business. So now let's get into a current situation, which I did talk about last night, but there's further developments.
The two men arrested, undocumented immigrants who have been arrested for violent crimes before. And
arrested for violent crimes before. How before? Are you talking about before back in their country? Because that's what you got to be talking about. You got to be talking about they were arrested in their country, then they snuck up in here and nobody caught it. That's what you're talking about, right?
The Trump administration is asking why the shooters who have a history of violent crimes were not turned over to federal ICE agents.
Now that is a question that everybody should have. That's one of them things that I don't see how anybody in authority over the area where this took place could weasel off the hook. How can you justify this? So wait a minute. These two knuckleheads was apprehended. These two knuckleheads were charged of violent crimes prior. And somehow, under your watch, they managed to get out and then tried to rob somebody, shot the man twice, and now all of a sudden they're finally in captivity. How'd that happen? How in the world did that happen? I would love to see the politicians that try to weasel off of this hook right here. You got to be something special, yeah, when it comes down to evilness, to be able to get in the camera and say, actually, yes, it might seem bad, but however. So let's see.
That's right, Bill. The Trump administration, as you said, is blaming Mayor Adams and New York sanctuary city laws.
Yeah. So Mayor Peanut's getting some of the blame, too. Yeah, there he is. Mayor Peanut thought that New York has a brand. We have a brand. I mean, New York has a brand. Then all of a sudden, when he got up there talking about, you know what, everybody flee for your lives. I mean, I've never seen nothing like this. New York's doomed. Then he got in trouble. Then he kissed the ring and got his little pardon and stuff. But the damage has been done. Making sure these folks got money for hotel rooms. Making sure, of course, they got their specialized food cards because they didn't like the food that we were giving them. They didn't like that stuff. And yet, folks are complaining about them going to Alligator Alcatraz. And I'm sitting there going, are you kidding me? No wonder they're upset. They're spoiled. They came here and they were used to being flown around all over the place, getting what they wanted. Some Vatican care and some community college that Joe Biden said. All right, so let's continue though, because I want to hear how they're going to excuse this.
Mayor Adams, for his part, is blaming bail reform.
Oh, that's how. Misplaced that blame. Hot potato. Mayor Adams is like, woo, hot. There you go. So bail reform, y'all. That's what it comes down to. Bail reform. Well, why should we even be focused on bail reform for illegal immigrants? There should be no bail for an illegal immigrant that's caught, especially if they're caught doing something violent. It should only be deportation. That's it. Why do we need bail for you? Why should we let you back out? We got you. Right here. There it is. It's like catching a big old fat bass or a salmon and you're going, now why would I let you go? I came out here to do some fishing and I got a big fat fish. Why would I let that fish go? So now with that being said, let's see what Mayor Adams has to say about it, because he said it ain't my fault. It ain't my fault.
What is clear is that both young men, as you said, have lengthy criminal histories, lengthy arrest records, and documentation, deportation orders that were issued months, even years ago.
Wow. So not only have we in America built the case against these two. See, it's one thing if you got a rap sheet from whatever country you came from and then you don't bring your papers, because why would you? I mean, you know, when we were asking Milkas about vetting all these people, I thought we do a comprehensive vetting process and this and what? Just look at them. They get to the border. Hola, come out for a better life. All right, buddy, stand back. Okay. All right, let's see. What do you think, Johnson? Does he look like he might have a criminal record? I don't know. I can't tell. He looks pretty innocent to me. All right, go ahead in. Now, don't you be starting any trouble, pal. That's it. It's the best we had. Because, I mean, why would you come to a country? Did you know, okay, yeah, they're going to be asking me some tough questions. I better bring my paperwork showing that I committed all these crimes from my other country. No, you wouldn't do that because you're not stupid. Our politicians are stupid, see? So, yeah, you're going to come like, they stole my papers. I lost them. I never had any papers. I was born out in a rural area and they don't give out papers there and all of this mess. So they let them in. But once you get here, and we start finding out you're a criminal, we got our own documentation of all your criminal activities. What's the excuse then? That's my question. What's keeping us from saying, hello, ICE? Is this ICE, baby? Too cold, ICE, baby? The Border Patrol. So now, what's keeping us from doing that? Say, we got two guys down here that got criminal records that we put together. Could you come get them? Why would we even be discussing bail for these people? That's my question. So I want to hear the answer to that.
The gunman and his accomplice take off into the night. One drops the other at a Bronx hospital, and both are later arrested.
Oh, that backfired on them guys. So you see him dropping his buddy off as he slumps over after shooting an off-duty Border Patrol agent. So look at this.
Undocumented migrants from the Dominican Republic.
The undocumented migrants from the Dominican Republic. Now, once again, how'd that happen? How did these undocumented migrants from the Dominican Republic get here and stay here and get to the point where they're able to commit this crime?
The suspected gunman, Miguel Francisco Mora Nunez, was ordered deported in November of 2024, but has a series of prior arrests, including a warrant for armed robbery in Massachusetts.
Prior arrests, armed robbery, Massachusetts. Here you go, felony, the grand larceny. Wow, man, all kind of stuff. And you still continue to commit crimes. Unreal. I mean, that's how great illegal immigrants have it here. Do you know how many Americans commit one of these crimes and they're locked up forever? This guy had the chance to build a full-blown, rap sheet and kept getting out. Now, I don't know. I mean, as an American, if I beat one of those crimes, you think I'm going to go commit another one? Nah. See, that ain't their style. They're like, you know what? We're in America here and they love us. The Democrats love us. So why don't we go ahead on a crime spree? Because look what happened the first or second or third time we were caught, or the fourth time. They keep letting us off. It's a pattern. I think we're good. we might have immunity here in America as illegal immigrants because the Democrats are evil. And they don't care about the damage we're doing. They just care about the optics. They don't want it to come to the public's attention that we are committing acts of crime and violence and stuff like that. They want to be able to get out on TV and say stupid stuff like it's a statistical fact that illegal immigrants or immigrants of all kind commit less crimes than Americans. They want to be able to say stupid stuff like that. So let's go ahead, commit a crime in this state, maybe ask them to pay for us to fly us to another state because they'll do it. They're dumb. They're dumb. And they'll fly somewhere else to commit some more crimes. When you stop and look back over all of this crap that took place the last 4 years, it's amazing. Democrats have shown us how evil they are in so many categories. Stuff that we thought we'd never see. Like Russia collusion, trying to frame Trump, trying to throw Trump in prison. All of this stuff we've been looking at over these years, we're going, this is amazing. To step back and look at this and say, we were there. We lived through it, man. We saw it with our own eyes. Kids for generations are going to be going, tell us about the time where everybody was going crazy in America and it seemed like you guys were living in a twilight zone, but you really wasn't. Okay, sit down. This is going to be a long one.
The alleged accomplice, Christian Ibar Baroa, was ordered deported in January of 2023.
Wow.
He too has prior arrest, but was released in June after a guilty plea.
Released in June after a guilty plea. I thought after you plead guilty, that means you get sentenced. But nope, not these guys. These guys were not being sentenced, and I don't understand that. I am just shocked. Not to mention, they were ordered to be deported, and nobody deported them. Y'all just let them out after committing crimes, and then went on the honor system. All right, now I know you've been pretty reckless. I know you've committed all these violent crimes, but we're not gonna sentence you. We just simply want you to make a plea. Okay, what kind of plea you want me to make? How about guilty? Okay, guilty is charged. Good. I'm glad you can admit it. Now, what we're gonna do? We're gonna let you out on the streets. Now, don't forget, you've been ordered to be deported. I want you, based on the honor system, to go down and self-deport. Go to the border agents or whoever is deporting you and tell them, hey, I'm here for deportation. Okay, thank you, adios. Jumped on that moped and went riding to commit some more crimes immediately. Unbelievable.
How many more people have to be hurt and victimized
Wow.
before we have public safety be a number one priority in some of our largest cities?
Well, there is no number if the Democrats would have stayed in power. You think they would have put a cap on that victimization for Americans? Nope. Nah, they view all of their illegal immigrants as victims when they're deported or when ICE shows up with no mask on and arrest them and stuff like that. They're the victims, not the American citizens that these folks have wreaked havoc on.
When I look at what Mayor Adams has done to New York City, it breaks my heart to see the families that have suffered because of his policies.
Yep. And it's not just confined to Mayor Adams. I mean, you can just go right through the whole Democrat Party, starting with Creepy Sleepy, starting with George of the Jungle. You know who I'm talking about, George Rose, him, that guy. I'm gonna start with him and the globalists who have this initiative and pushed it on our politicians, and our politicians, of course, is shoving it down the throats of Americans. Yeah, all of them are responsible, and they didn't care. They didn't care if thousands and hundreds of thousands of Americans were impacted one way or another. Not at all. Whether it be through crowding hospitals and schools and stuff like that and traffic, whether it be through violent crimes, whether it be through, of course, packing your neighborhoods with all of these people, whether it be through them diverting funds away from American people to all these illegal immigrants. You know, the sky was the limit when it comes to all the damage that they was okay with for American citizens. Yeah, they would have said, you know what, we'll just let this ride out forever. And when bad stuff happened to the point where it reached the national news, we'll just get up there and make an excuse. And talk about that. We're very sorry for the victims and stuff like that, but we want to be clear, all illegal immigrants are not responsible for crime. The same stuff we heard when Laken Riley was killed. The same stuff that we saw when things like this would happen. They would get up, divert, pivot, sometimes just ignore. The only time they would ever have to address it is if it was shoved in their face. Other than that, they was okay with all of this stuff happening. So let's continue.
New York sanctuary city laws forbid city agencies from cooperating with immigration agents in all but criminal cases.
Y'all hear that? Forbid them to operate with immigration agents in all but criminal cases. Now, these two guys were involved in multiple criminal cases. So surely, as this story unwinds, we're going to find out that once they were found guilty, or once they were involved in a criminal case, then they were Johnny on the spot to call ICE and say, come get these fools. Come get these fools.
The NYPD is forbidden from notifying ICE if a suspect in custody is undocumented.
What? What? So you're undocumented and you were involved in a criminal case, but for some reason, that didn't matter. They still did not contact ICE.
Today, Mayor Adams said he's required to obey the laws, but questioned why the men were not in jail despite multiple prior arrests.
Now you see that? You see Mayor Peanut, who's running for re-election, who is the lesser of two evils in regards to Zoran the moron up there, this Democrat communist. So now Mayor Peanut is wondering why these men were let out on bail. He wants it to be a bail issue. And I'm going, no, forget bail. I don't want to hear nothing about, why were they let out on bail after committing these acts? No, I don't care about bail. My question is, why were they let into the country? That's my first question. Then they get to New York. Yeah. Why did you allow them to come into New York with your full-blown, we have sanctuary policies. Why did you let them come into New York and stuff like that? Why, after these people were involved in these criminal cases, why weren't they deported immediately? Y'all said if a person is involved in a criminal case, then it's okay to contact ICE. But nobody did that. Nobody did that. So now Mayor Peanut wants to, he became Mayor Walnut for a while. He became Mayor Walnut. But now I look at this stuff and now he goes back to Peanut. He goes back to Peanut. He had graduated from Peanut to Walnut when he started, calling out the Dems and all that stuff. But now he's back to Peanut. So now Peanut wants to go ahead and say, well, look, these guys should have been held in prison without bail.
I am extremely angry that we have a Customs Border Patrol officer that is in the hospital because a person that should have not been on our street was...
No. Should have not been in our country. Should have not been in our city. Should have not been in our state because they're legal immigrants.
On our street.
Well, to be clear, the mayor supports limited cooperation with ICE, but opposes deportations of otherwise law-abiding migrants.
See, now there you go. That shows why you're still Mayor Peanut and not Coconut. Yeah, you're okay with them, interacting with ICE and all of that stuff. Somebody said, Kev, is that shirt available in your... No, it ain't, but I can make it available. If this is something you want, I'll talk to some people who know some people that know some people and put together something similar to this for you. So now, y'all hear this? This guy just, reported that Mayor Adams is okay with illegal immigrants just being in the country or in the state or in their city without breaking any laws and just working hard. And his excuse is, I'm just following the law. I'm following our sanctuary city laws. It's greater than me. Are you kidding me? So wait, our national government did not follow our constitutional laws when it comes down to bringing all of these people in here. They didn't follow no law whatsoever. Bent all kind of laws, perverted laws, brought all of these people in here for this nonsense. And now, all of a sudden, Mayor Adams wants to follow the law in regards to, hey, there's nothing I can do. We're a sanctuary city. However, these people commit crimes. They should be deported.
As Bill said a moment ago, both suspects will face federal charges. As for the officer, he continues to recover here tonight.
About this Border Patrol agent who...
Oh, now. So let's go up the chain of command. We done already saw and heard from Mayor Peanut, But now let's go up to Big Cankles, Queen Latifah. Okay, big old Cankles, Godzilla feet, ashy feet, scaled feet. Queen Latifah, one of the most evil politicians on the planet. Y'all remember her, right? Yes, if you elect me, I'm going to make sure I investigate Donald Trump. I'm going to look into all of his business dealings. That one. The one that was like, I'm going to be a pain in his butt. This one, the one that right now should be under investigation herself. So let's see what Big Cankles, Godzilla feet, Queen Latifah have to say about this incident, okay? Here we go, y'all. Y'all ready for some spin? And I'm upset that this CNN, I guess, commentator or something, wasn't able to fight with Queen Latifah. I think I need to get in a ring with somebody like this, because watch her bully this lady.
Who was shot in New York City over the weekend. 2 undocumented immigrants with final removal orders are in custody for their involvement in this. One person of interest, Miguel Mora, has a criminal history. And I just want to lay this out for our viewers who are not familiar. I know this is a little lengthy, but it's important.
Lay it out.
And that criminal history includes charges for assault on a pregnant woman and a stabbing charge in January, according to 2
assault on a pregnant woman, stabbing in January.
Senior law enforcement officials. DHS detailed 3 arrests in the last 2 years in New York City.
3 arrests in the last 2 years in New York City. Now, how is this so-called law agent going to explain this? That's what I want to know. Now, this lady's reading off the rap sheet in the history of these 2 men. How are you going to bunny hop over this and excuse why these 2 men made it this far? That's what I want to know. So continue reading off the rap sheet.
His alleged accomplice, Christian Ibar Baroa, also entered the country illegally and has a criminal history that includes charges of reckless endangerment and felony grand larceny. He pleaded guilty to petite larceny at the Bronx County Supreme Court in June of this year and was conditionally discharged, according to DHS.
Conditionally discharged. What was the conditions? Don't do it again. That was it? All right, now, buddy, you've been here 3 times already. Now, if you just tell us you're sorry, all right, by pleading guilty, I'll let you out. But the conditions are, don't do it again. Joe Biden, no, let him go. Was that it? Was that the person who told me to let him go? All right, so now I want to see what she's going to say. I'm pretty sure it's going to be something like, well, see, I couldn't pay attention to this because I was too busy chasing Donald Trump. So now let's continue, because this right here is going to show just how evil this woman is. Somebody said, just how evil are the Democrats? Well, they're evil enough to listen to all of those facts that this lady just read, and then actually respond like this.
Is this the kind of incident where there may be a case where local law enforcement should be coordinating with immigration authorities? Both of them had these removal orders, these final removal orders.
Final removal orders. So now they done went through all the due process and everything, eliminated all the excuses that the Democrats been using to say they shouldn't be deported. So now we got the crime. We got an airtight case. We got the crimes they committed. They were violent crimes. Okay. We got the the guilty plea rather. We got that. We got the deportation removals. We got all of that. How is this evil politician going to weasel out of this? Let's see.
So let me just say, I'm so glad that the officer is doing well, and we pray for a speedy recovery.
Well, let's start off with a fake platitude, a fake remorse statement, a stereotypical remorse statement. Let me start off by saying I'm thankful for the survival of these 2 people, this person who was shot, and we hope for a speedy recovery. You think she cares about that person? You think she gives one darn about this man? No, absolutely not. Yeah, and we know that because every time somebody was killed by an illegal immigrant across this whole country and it was brought to national attention, none of these folks on their own would go out there, reach out to the parents, call these people, do a press conference, show any type of remorse. No, it only was when they were put in situations like this to give a non-emotional, stereotypical program response to try to pretend that I care about this man. To try to pretend. So now I can see through that. Off grid. But let's continue, because now she's going to go into her excuse bag.
Two, let me also say that it is now time for Congress to enact comprehensive immigration reform.
See? Now there it is. That's one of their go-tos whenever tragedies happen on their watch or because of their policies. Immediately, they go straight to Congress. Let me misplace the blame. So with Mayor Peanut, it became, bail reform. To this big Kenko lady, now all of a sudden, Congress has to act with immigration reform. You know what? We need to go ahead and do it, knock it out while we got the majority. I'm so sick of them using this crap as an excuse. And when they do immigration reform right now, it should be, all right, here's the new immigration reform. No more illegal immigrants, period. Right now, our whole amnesty / asylum thing is filled to the max. And if you come for asylum, you better come after telling us you went through 5 or 6 other countries to get to our border. Don't you be talking about, I want to come here and I walked all the way from the bottom of South America through 12 countries to get to your border because y'all got the best. Y'all got the best asylum. Nope. I don't want to hear that crap. And it better be only for one of two purposes. Look, religious persecution or I'm being persecuted because of my politics. That is it. Anything besides that, I'm going to get out of here, man. Go on now. Go on now. So tighten that mess up. Finally, Congress, y'all should do it right now to shut these folks up for using this stupid excuse whenever their policies lead to this. So my question is, how does Congress enacting immigration reform have anything to do with these folks right here having a sanctuary city policy? That's something you don't have to have. Y'all made it your choice to have sanctuary city policies. So that right there is what drew all these people into your state. So now I want you to give me an excuse of why these men were comprehended and still was let out.
3, individuals obviously who have criminal convictions or criminal convictions. Obviously, it is the policy of the great state of New York to cooperate with ICE agents.
Then why didn't they? Why didn't they? Were you just not too focused on this? How did they make it to court 3, 4, 5 times and still not be deported or ICE not contacted? That's my question, Big Kinkles. I want to know that, Godzilla feet. I want to know why they had all of these interactions with Policia and still managed to shoot somebody.
However,
here comes the evilness. Let me say something very stupid and cynical and evil and hope that my voters and supporters won't catch it.
individuals who serve you each and every day, who come to this country seeking a better opportunity, individuals fleeing violence, individuals who want...
Is that a reason for asylum? Violence? That means folks in y'all cities should be fleeing the country as well. All of the violence that takes place up in Chicago, out there in LA, up there in New York, they should be going to Mexico. Well, man, I got a better shot at surviving here in Mexico after watching what these Democrats are doing in their cities. So now, here she is going right to the whole pull your heartstrings, divert from these evil folks that are here because of us, who were able to do this because of our bad policies, our lack of follow-up, our resistance to deal with ICE and all of that stuff. All of that stuff I'm going to go ahead and pivot from because there's really no way to excuse how this was able to happen. So now let me go to all of our friends and families and all of the people who are special and they do all these wonderful jobs for us. Let's do that because I don't give a darn about that guy. I care more about our precious illegal immigrants than our American citizens. Now that's pretty evil.
Who want the same thing that you and I want. And that is to care for their families.
No, we don't talk about that. That same thing that you and I want. What about us now?
Opportunity. Individuals fleeing violence. Individuals who want the same thing that you and I want, and that is to care for their families.
Mm-hmm. However, many Americans' lives were taken, and they couldn't care for their families because of y'all policies. Yeah, taken by some of these precious illegal immigrants that you claim just wants to take care of their families. Now, I get it. I understand. Everybody want to come up in life, especially when you have a stupid opportunity open up because of evil politicians to let you in to have access to the most lovely economy in the world. But at the same time, you got to recognize, look, should I be doing this? Is this right? I mean, I'm going to do it because they told me I could, but I'm pretty sure there's no real reason for me to be coming here with the exception that I want a better life. But we see the coordinated effort from politicians to enable this to happen. So why not take advantage of it? Now they all got to go home. So let's continue.
Individuals who serve us each and every day.
Each and every
Those
day.
are the individuals who need protection.
Service. These people who service every day. So forget about the victim that was shot. Forget about why that victim ended up getting shot. Forget about the criminals who shot him and how all of this played out. All of the steps that had to be overlooked to where these folks were able to even do this. We had these guys multiple times. I don't want to dwell on that part. Nope. I don't want to focus on that part. Nope. I'll touch on it and pretend that I'm sympathetic for a quick second. Then I'm going to move on to our gaslighting session. Thank you, Bobby. Here's the gaslighting session. Let's move on to the heartstrings. People who just want a better life. They come here because they want to serve us. They come here because of this and that.
And that's why the state of New York and other Democratic attorneys general are standing up for those families and for those individuals who unfortunately are being kidnapped in the middle of...
Yeah, see, now, here we go. This is how evil they are. So first of all, you're standing up for families, not the American families, okay? Not the American families. I'm standing up for all these illegal immigrant families, right? And now I'm going to go into one of the biggest lies and deceptions that I can. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look in this camera and try to convince people that we're trying to protect all of these illegal immigrants. See, we don't want to really tell y'all they're illegal immigrants. We're just saying these individuals, these citizens. No, they're not citizens. And then we're going to demonize ICE after pretending to apologize and be empathetic to the Border Patrol agent that was shot. Now, I'm going to go ahead and slap all of these folks who's responsible for protecting our border and enforcing immigration law. I'm going to now pivot from trying to pretend I care about this guy to now demonizing the rest of these guys. Now, how you like that for evil? So you know she don't care about the Border Patrol agent, because if she did, he's in the same line of work as ICE, making sure we have a secure border and illegal immigrants don't come to our country, and if they are here, they should be deported. But this woman now goes from pretending that she cares about the ICE agent to now demonizing ICE agents rather, cared about the Border Patrol agent, to now demonizing ICE agents. What happens though if these ICE agents are revealed or doxxed and something like this happens to them because of your evilness? See, that's how more important it is for them to cover and protect these illegal immigrants and try to drive sentiment away from deportation. It's more important for these folks to do that by demonizing ICE than it is to just simply say ICE is doing their job and they're getting these folks out of our country, whether they're violent criminals or just violent or criminals who violated our immigration laws.
The night by masked agents with no insignia.
This is a bunch of crap. I can't, man. This shows just how foul these people are. In the dark of night with no insignia. So what happens when they are comprehended and they get in the back of the paddy wagon and stuff like that? Are they still wondering who these people are, where they're taking them? They're wondering once they get put in a government vehicle. They're thinking they've been kidnapped. These kidnappers, man, whoo, they must have lots of resources. They got government vehicles to do this in. They got long guns and body armor. They got posses of guys with wonderful gear and stuff like that. And yeah, these are the most sophisticated kidnappers ever. So you're telling me these people who are apprehended by ICE, they have no, awareness that this might be ICE. They think they're just being kidnapped, or are y'all lying and saying that that's what's happened? Y'all are lying and saying that these people are afraid. They just think they're being kidnapped by random kidnappers. Y'all didn't know that? Y'all didn't know all these kidnappers that were running around our country with all these sophisticated weapons and, all these wonderful vehicles. Y'all didn't hear about this happening. It was a phenomenon, y'all. Yeah. Or did this only become a narrative just to protect your illegal immigrants? Because you would think if these kidnappers now are doing this, where were they before ICE was unleashed to go and arrest these people? You mean to tell me nobody was covering the stories of all of these, 15, 20 kidnappers jumping out of cars and they're throwing people in the back of these sophisticated, no, we weren't hearing that. So now you're going to come up with this lie and think we're stupid enough to believe it.
No identification and taken away from their families.
System not working. I mean, if you're talking about waiting for comprehensive immigration reform,
Pushback.
I've been in Washington for 20 years, and they've been trying for a long time. It doesn't happen, right? So why, in the case of cities taking a step, and states taking a step, is this an example where there could be that coordination instead of waiting decades for Congress to act?
At the outset.
Oh, shoot. Now you got Big Kenko's going to push her big weight around. She's going to use that Godzilla weight to push around this CNN anchor. I'm thinking, you're going to let her get away with this trash?
That I indicated to you that, in fact, New York State and other Democratic states cooperate with ICE when it comes to criminal convictions.
Oh, criminal convictions. Not criminal charges, not violent, cases that maybe they didn't get a conviction, but they were brought in because of violence, especially considering this guy pleaded guilty. What are you talking about? That seemed like a criminal conviction to me. Nobody was called. This guy and his buddy was released. So now what are you talking about? Criminal convictions. So you got to be absolutely convicted to be sent to ICE. That's what she's saying. It doesn't matter how many times you've been brought and they didn't convict you because they let you go because you were an illegal immigrant. Yeah. See, it doesn't matter about that.
But when it comes to innocent individuals who serve as your nanny, who clean your home.
You mean the individuals like those two guys who had that rap sheet that was let go multiple times and ended up shooting that guy? I'm sorry. Maybe they were working on cleaning homes in between robbing people and shooting people. Maybe they were cleaning pools and stuff on their moped. Let's go first clean some pools and some toilets, wipe some Democrat butts. Then we're going to jump on our little scooter and then we're going to go start robbing some people. That's what they were doing?
Individuals who are our neighbors, individuals who unfortunately are just trying to make ends meet.
I can't stand when they do that. This goes to show how evil and deceptive you are. How you're willing to try to manipulate people's emotions with this trash by going ahead and becoming an advocate for these illegal immigrants, a lawyer for them, the individuals who are kind, individuals who deep down in their heart, they simply want to see the world become a better place, individuals that give tithes and offerings, get individuals who all of these things. I don't want to hear about all of these individuals that I don't know and have nothing to do with. Yeah, I don't want to hear nothing about that. I want to know about those individuals who take up tax dollars, those individuals who commit crimes and violence, those individuals who shouldn't be in the country, those individuals who... How about that?
Both of these individuals had multiple arrests after deportation orders.
Yeah. I want to hear Big Kenko's weasel off of this, but you know what though? She's evil enough to do it.
Why are those not opportunities?
And that is why in the state of New York, when it comes to individuals, as you indicated, individuals with criminal convictions, then... Now
you hear? She said that individuals with convictions, but yet she's not telling us why these people weren't arrested and deported. You're saying you're agreeing with her. That's why individuals with convictions, you're agreeing with her. So then tell me, please, why weren't these people sent to ICE? I don't have to tell you all that. Okay, one, I'm dealing with CNN. And I'm a bully on CNN because nobody's going to push back against me too much. And two, I'm evil enough to look you in the face and tell you, yeah, that's right. Like we said, individuals with convictions. Now, let's move on to the people who's cleaning our toilets and washing our pools and stuff and ain't never done nothing.
We cooperate with ICE.
But
it's important that we make a distinction between those individuals with criminal...
Yeah, but you didn't. You said we cooperate with ICE, but you didn't. This lady is not able to catch this, the CNN lady. I mean, what kind of hard-hitting anchor are you? I would have immediately interrupted her and said, whoa. You just said, yeah, that's what y'all should do and what y'all do, but you never did it. That's why these guys were able to end up shooting this man. So tell me, why did that happen, Big Kinkles? When these men were being convicted and should have been deported, were you too busy chasing Trump around, trying to go ahead and repossess his businesses and his buildings and stuff? Were you too busy and distracted with that? Or were you more too busy with your own real estate shenanigans you got going on?
Criminal convictions, and those individuals, again, who are just trying to make ends meet each and every day. And the vast majority of individuals who are being secreted and kidnapped at night are individuals who, again, are facing civil deportation. And
that burns me up, man. I mean, I wish ICE could actually sue her for defamation, being kidnapped in the dead of night. I cannot stand when they say that, when they tell that big fat lie. Kidnapped in the dead of night. When you say something like that, you put a bullseye on all the ICE members. This is what makes these people so evil. When you say something like that. Now, if I'm dumb enough to believe this lady, and ICE rolls up on the scene at night, and I happen to be an illegal immigrant, that's a great excuse. Listening to people like Queen Latifah say that these people are kidnapping folks, that's a great excuse for me to fire on ICE. That's what it is. That's a great excuse for me to become violent against ICE, and then on the back end, swear up and down. I had no idea. it was ICE, even though it was 10 of them who came in and probably said, get on the ground and stuff like that. And they had the ICE gear and also, even though that was the case, when I listen to people like evil behind Queen Latifah, Big Kinkles, and the rest of the Democrats, they're telling me that there's this mysterious group of kidnappers that are out there only kidnapping people who happen to be illegal immigrants. And just because I fell into that category, I felt that these kidnappers busted in to try to kidnap me. So I just went ahead and started swinging or shooting on them.
And not criminal enforcement. It's important that we make a distinction. It's important that individuals understand that individuals are being caught up in these ICE raids, innocent individuals, students, teachers, small businesses.
Show me those people who aren't illegal immigrants. That's what I want to know. Show me those people, you evil, stinking, nasty, big, fat, King Kong, dangling Godzilla feet, crusty ankles, big nose, having boxing glove on the tip of your face, big body, having big old nasty, stinking eyebrows arched too high, corrupt, disgusting, snagging tooth politician. Yeah, I want to know. Show me those people. Here I am. I'm a businessman. I had no idea. These ICE officers grabbed me, and I'm a straight up American citizen. And look where I'm at now. I'm down in Alcatraz, Alligator Alcatraz. I tried to tell them, here's my U.S. citizenship and stuff like they just slapped my hand. Knocked it right out of my hand. Said, we don't care. You're a man of color. Let's go ahead and take them away. So you can't produce any of this evidence of these innocent people who are simply what? American citizens? Or when they say innocent people, what they're referring to is illegal immigrants that have not been convicted of a crime. That's what they're referring to.
We all do the same thing, and that is to protect individuals from harm.
No, we don't. No, we don't want the same thing. Because folks voted for Trump because they want these people deported. And here you are pretending and suggesting that everybody wants these people here. They're protected from harm.
But unfortunately, what we are seeing is mass ICE agents without any insignia, without any identification, kidnapping innocent individuals that both you and I know.
Now, do you know how evil you are to have to perpetrate that lie? To get up there and you're a public servant. And that's what I mean about how evil they are. You are a public servant. You're a law enforcement agent. That's what you are. The top law enforcement agent in New York. You know the responsibility of ICE. You're supposed to be supporting all of the individual departments of law enforcement. And you get up there and you tell a bold-faced lie after being confronted about your raggedy policies that allow these two criminal illegal immigrants to slip through the cracks to where they were able to shoot another law enforcement agent. And your response is to demonize more law enforcement agents. And you think the evil stops there? Watch this non-emotional, monotone, evil evil politician, his reply to that question when people asked him about, hey, what do you think about these two guys that should have been deported, but they ended up shooting this law enforcement agent? Watch him with his very sincere answer.
The Republicans made a big deal about how the Biden administration handled the border last year. That was a major issue in the election. But then we have this officer from the CBP who was shot in Manhattan last night, and Republicans saying, this is, part of the policy. People got in the country illegally. They shouldn't be here. What's your response to that when something that tragic happens in your home city?
Ask me no questions. I'll tell you no lies. Your nose is big enough for a man twice your size. Any other questions?
It's my hope that the victims of this.
Here it is. Here it is. Here is the response. So let me push the typical response button. Beep. My hope is that the victims of this, the recovers,
criminal act are able to fully and completely recover.
Yeah, that seems sincere. That seems very sincere.
And those responsible for the criminal act should be held accountable and prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
Now, you know what burns me up about all of these fake platitudes coming out from the Democrats when all of these things like this happens is that they never think about this up front. They're not preventative. The question becomes, okay, why should I have to apologize if we were proactive with preventing something like this from happening by enforcing our Border Patrol laws? That's my question. I shouldn't have to be up here trying to apologize about what happened to Laken Riley or this police officer or anybody. If we would have actually did our job. You know who won't have to apologize in the next years, of course, long as we stay in power, is Trump. And he won't have to be able to come out and say, I'm sorry that this happened to this person because I allowed folks to continue coming across our border unvetted. He has locked that border down. And now what that means is there's no possibility of future folks coming across our border to commit these type of crimes. Now what we got to do is react to the crimes that are taking place due to Biden and mucus allowing all of these people in here. And these Democrats supporting it. So now these dummies got to come out and try to pretend that they're saddened. And they sincerely feel for the people who are victims of our open border policies.
At the end of the day, we have to make sure in this country that we secure the border.
That's done. Thanks to Trump. What else?
Fix our broken immigration system.
There it is. All right, before I go out there, I'll probably be asked some questions about what took place in New York. What should I tell them? All right, go to the go-to. Fix immigration reform, all of this stuff.
In a bipartisan and comprehensive way, while at the same time standing up for dreamers, farm workers, and law-abiding immigrant families.
Illegal immigrants, basically standing up for illegal immigrants and cheap labor. You see how evil these people are? He gave basically a summed up answer like Queen Latifah. Yeah, I'm sorry for the victim. Sorry about that. Hope he recovers. Yeah, whatever. What was his name? It doesn't matter. Anyway, now let's move on to my pivot. My pivot is immigration reform, stuff like that. And then finally, these dreamers, these people who are just wonderful. They're better than Americans. They built our economy. What would we do without them? We can't work jobs. We can't do jobs without these people. These people make the world go round, and I refuse to put them in the category as illegal immigrants. Now, we want to just say migrants. That's what we want to say. We're not going to go ahead and accurately define what these people are while I'm giving this bootleg evil response. Because if people watching me hear me slide illegal before I put migrants in there, people are going to say, no, why should we care about them again? Why should we care about their farmers, they're picking fruit and this and that, but they're illegal? See, that changes the game. So we can't refer to them as illegal immigrants. That maybe will put an image in people's minds that, wait, why should we care about these people? Why are y'all going to bat over all of these people? Oh, you're evil. Therefore, you've come up with this deceptive technique and way of addressing these people in these situations to continue deceiving people. But now, let's move to another level of corruption and evil. Yeah, how about this? Cover-ups. Now, y'all know, y'all got to be pretty evil to slide in a president that was mentally declining, that they all knew, and then they covered it up the whole way. Check this out, y'all.
Can the reporter please swear in the witness?
So would you please raise your right hand to be sworn?
For what? It doesn't matter. We're Democrats. We do this all day long. I swear, I solemnly swear that. Now, what was I going to lie about again? It doesn't matter. We don't believe in God anyway. So let's continue.
And affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
And here we go.
Mr. Bernal, was President Joe Biden fit to exercise the duties of the president?
Okay.
On the advice
Good
of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer the question pursuant to my Fifth Amendment rights under the Constitution.
Mr. Bernal, did any unelected official or family member of President Joe Biden execute the duties of the presidency?
Oh, another good question. This is an easy one. Let's go.
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer the question pursuant to my Fifth Amendment rights under the Constitution.
Okay, now, I'm starting to suspect that you guys are covering this up. That you guys don't want to incriminate yourself. What do you mean? You respectively decline to answer the question of my constitutional duties to not incriminate my all that mess. I don't want to hear that. These are simple, basic questions that you should be able to answer. Let's continue, unless you're covering something up.
Let the record reflect that Mr. Bernal has invoked the Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination. Mr. Bernal.
That's what he's doing right now. That's some dodging, baby.
Up in the morning to look at Joe and say, where the hell are we?
Oh, we got another witness? Okay, maybe we'll have better luck with this next witness.
Can the reporter please swear in the witness?
Will you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly declare and affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Here we go. Let's do it again.
Okay, let's try this again.
Yeah.
Ms. Tomasini, have you ever conspired with anyone in the White House to hide information regarding the Biden family's business dealings?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer the question pursuant to my Fifth Amendment rights under the Constitution.
What? No, wait a minute. You see the pattern, guys? That's how infested this last administration was, to where they're going to send every single one out there to say, we're pleading the Fifth. Basic questions. We don't need to be open to the American public. We don't have to give answers to you stinking Americans about our corruption and how we ran the White House. Because, see, Biden wasn't running that. We all know that. He wasn't running it. And if he was running it, they wouldn't have a problem with this. Do you think if they brought in anybody from Trump's administration right now and they asked them these same questions, they would have to plead the Fifth? No, they'd be like, absolutely not. Trump's running the country. What are you talking about? No, he makes all the decisions. He's perfectly competent. But yet these people got to come out and plead the Fifth for basic questions.
Ms. Tomasini, did Joe Biden, a member of his family, or anyone at the White House ever instruct you to lie regarding his health to Congress today?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer the question pursuant to my Fifth Amendment rights under the Constitution.
Now you see how evil these people are? Because see, they don't want to come out and say, yeah, Biden wasn't running nothing. It was Jill, it was Hunter, it was us. God knows who else was getting in on it. I mean, they probably went down to the cafeteria, asked the chef, did he want to pass some legislation? Hey, look, we got a brain dead president up there. We want you in on this. You want to go ahead and put in a bid for something? You want bigger potatoes? Bigger potato? You want us to sign a bill for bigger potatoes? Okay, great. All right, he wants bigger potatoes. Yeah, just ask and open it up for anybody who wants to run the country, who wants to get in on running the country, because Joe's not running it. And all of a sudden, they all plead the Fifth.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Tomasini has invoked the Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination.
Think about that.
Yeah.
A few moments later.
Well, unfortunately, that was quick. This is the second witness that we've brought in via subpoena for a deposition that has pled the Fifth, and they've stated they're not going to answer questions. I want to read the first two questions, just so everyone knows. These are the types of questions we ask.
Yeah.
Was Joe Biden fit to exercise the duties of the president?
Whoa, that's a tough one, y'all. Was he fit to exercise the duties of the president? When you say exercise, what do you mean? Like physically exercise? Do you mean mentally exercise? That's what I want to know. Then when you say fit, how fit does one have to be? I mean, you're talking about being able to think and talk and make words and complete sentences? Or you're talking about just able to get up and open your eyes, maybe move your hand a little bit? Is that good enough? Does that cover fit? Unbelievable.
He pled the Fifth. Second question, did any unelected official or family member execute the duties of the presidency? And this is Joe Biden's chief of staff. Did any unelected officials or family members ever execute the duties of the presidency?
When you say execute, are you talking about like kill? Because I mean, you know, did they kick? Because I mean, you know, could be talking about kill, execute, or like, you know, actually manipulate. We don't know. I mean, could you be more specific on that? Because that word's big, and I don't quite understand the question.
Simple question. He knew he was going to be asked that. Everybody in America wants to know that. He pled the fifth.
Pled the fifth.
So we're going to continue our investigation.
There you go. So there you go. Now that's evil at the White House. We all know they covered that mess up. They lied. Karine Jean-Pierre came out to that mic every day, lying to us with that big mop on top of her head. Mucus and my what's the name? The other one, Mayor Garlic, and all of them that were running the country, because that's what's happening. They were running our country into the ground, of course. And yet, when asked, they're all saying, "I plead the fifth." Simple stuff like, was Joe Biden in charge? I plead the fifth. Are you kidding me? If you can't answer that one, that says a lot. But they're evil enough to do it. And then we'll end with this one, guys. It's conspiracies, y'all. Now, you know, they always be talking about Trump and all of his conspiracies. Well, here's one for you for the ages, y'all. Y'all heard me talk about it yesterday, but there's more evidence. Here we go.
Has been caught directly. So people say, oh, you know, a group. It's not a group. It's Obama. His orders are on the paper. The papers are signed. The papers came right out of their office. They sent everything to be highly classified. Well, the highly classified's been released. And what they did in 2016 and in 2020 is very criminal. It's
very criminal. Trump has taken the boxing gloves off and he's going bare knuckle. Yeah, he's like, look, I'm going to cut through the chase. This right here is in plain sight. Like Adam Schiff said, the evidence in plain sight. Where's that evidence? Now we got it. Now we finally got a situation where there's some evidence in plain sight. So Trump is not trying to be ambiguous. He's not, you know what, we're going to look into it. Nope, I'm sick of all of that mess. Yeah, this right here is an open and closed case. All right, it's right there in your face.
It's criminal at the highest level.
John Brennan and Jim Comey.
Y'all see the troll? Y'all see the troll with those ears like this? This was back in 2019, committing and admitting that, yeah, we were all involved in putting together this fake behind intel information.
And I are part of the group that were tasked by President Obama to put together all the reporting we had.
Tasked by who? Who, y'all? Yeah. He just name dropped the big guy, y'all. So therefore, if I was the DOJ, I would go after this troll and I would threaten him with like 20 years to life, if not even worse, for treason. You know what you can get for treason. And I say, however, if you were to come out and admit that, yep, Obama told us to put together this intel, information, this fake information, we might go ahead and cut you a little slack. Give us the big guy. That's what we want. We want the big guy.
Had on the Russian interference, and which we did. And then, of course, on January 6th, we issued our intelligence community
our fake assessment
documenting the Russian interference, in which we had very high confidence in the evidence that we presented.
Here's what we've
high confidence, you say. So let's see just how high confident they were.
learned so far. December 7th, 2016, the assessment reiterated that Russia did not tamper with election infrastructure.
Did not. So they didn't listen to their own intel community information. So they were giving this presentation, all this into like, yo, man, we looked into it. Russia had nothing to do with it. Oh, thanks for telling us. We'll take that into consideration. See ya. Are they gone? Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to flip that over on his head. We're not going to let them come out and report that to the media. We're going to go ahead and say, we have a new view and assessment on this whole. That's what they did. So let's see.
Sure. Just one day later, the editor of that assessment canceled the brief, quote, based on new guidance.
Based on new guidance, y'all. Guidance that would line up with the corrupt narrative that Trump was elected by the Russians. That's what, guidance we had to come up with.
By December 9th, 2016, Obama convened National Security Council principals and ordered a new assessment.
A new one to fit the lie.
January 6, 2017, the new unclassified assessment was released. Obama's office today firing back, issuing the following statement.
Thank you, by the way, Mousy. So now, they done went ahead and drug out the worm from underneath the rock. This information right here is getting to him. Yeah, it done went ahead and creep down through the swamp and through all the rocks and the mosque and the dirt and the nasty stuff. And it reached Obama to the point where he's like, we better get out ahead of this. Somebody go out there and try to pretend that these are just baseless claims and attacks and stuff, in spite of all the information that Tulsi released and all the facts and unclassified documents that suggest that I was over this. Yeah, what this is still dis and misinformation. Now, this is how bold they are. Yeah, anything that comes out that, is very straightforward evidence that they were corrupt, they just call that dis and misinformation and evilness coming from Trump and all of them.
Out of respect for the office of the presidency, our office does not normally dignify the constant nonsense and misinformation.
But because this is so true, and because it is actually revealing how evil I was and how corrupt I am, I'm going to now go ahead and try to respond by saying, don't believe it, everybody. Don't believe it.
Flowing out of this White House with a response. But these claims are outrageous enough to merit one. These bizarre allegations are ridiculous and
bizarre. Now listen to the craftiness of this statement, just the wording. All right, this is bizarre, it's outlandish. I didn't do nothing. Now watch this.
a weak attempt at distraction. Nothing in the document issued last week undercuts the widely accepted conclusion.
Now, the weak attempt at distraction from what? This isn't one of them situations that you just sit back and think up and say, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and say Obama was a part of a plot and a conspiracy to go ahead and topple the Trump candidacy and stuff like that. Let's come up with that because we want to distract away from something. No, this is something you go, what's this? This is true? He did, we got the evidence? Put that out there. So now facts and evidence is now just a distraction instead of what it is, facts and evidence. And then he says that, hey, this lines up with what?
Conclusion that Russia worked to influence the 2016 presidential election, but did not successfully manipulate any votes.
Now, y'all hear that? The conclusion that Russia worked to influence the 2016 election, but they did not, change any votes. But that's not the argument. That's not the issue. See, the issue was the fact that you guys tried to suggest that Russia was coordinating with Trump. There was a conspiracy between Trump and Russia to get Trump elected, and their efforts had an impact in the election. So now all of a sudden, when they get busted because their initial true narrative have been exposed, then they divert back to the secondary narrative. That, whoa. All we're simply saying is that the Russians attempted to try to interfere with the elections, and it didn't work. It had no impact. That's all I was saying. No, what you were saying was the Russians conspired with Trump to change the results of the election. That's what the narrative we wanted to go out there. And then we just had a secondary default narrative just in case y'all bust us. We'll be able to fall back and say, no, we weren't trying to do that. No, we were simply saying Russia interfered on a very small, minute level, which I still don't even see it. But this is after the intel information came out and told this fool that no, Russia had nothing to do with it.
These findings were affirmed in a 2020 report by the bipartisan Senate Intelligence Committee led by then Chairman Marco Rubio. He's saying that none of this makes any sense, that this is a distraction. What do you say to that?
Oh, and here we go, y'all. Tulsi, would you please school us on what really happened and what Obama's really doing right now? Because see, he's one of the evil lists, y'all. He's one of the evil lists, along with every single person that was involved in that shenanigan. That's all of them. Crooked Hillary, the whole crew. So break it down for us, Tulsi.
It's the art of deflection coming from former President Obama, as well as his friends who are still in Congress today, and Senator Warner and Congressman Jim Himes, really all basically saying that exact same statement, which doesn't actually address the issue that was revealed in great detail in the over 100 documents that we released last week, and the documents that we will be releasing later this week.
And now you see it? No, don't deal with the issue, the real issue. We just saw this happen throughout my whole live stream with these Democrats who they don't want to deal with the issue of immigration and why this man was shot because of their policies. No, they want to go ahead and pivot and say it's immigration reform, it's bail reform, that's because the people coming for better life and all of this stuff. And, they don't want to deal with it's us and our scheming, our diabolical plans, our corruption, our evilness, our policies. Yeah, it's us. They don't want to ever admit to that. See?
That point to the undeniable fact that you laid out in your introduction to this segment is that the intelligence community had one assessment, that Russia did not have the intent or capability to try to impact the outcome of the U.S. election leading up to Election Day. The same assessment was made after Donald Trump was elected by the American people as president in 2016, defeating Hillary Clinton.
Wow. So wait, you're telling me, Tulsi, that slime ball Obama, with that statement he threw out there, hey, I wonder how he's going to explain the fact that the intel community made two assessments, one leading up to, the election, and said nothing happened. Then afterwards said nothing happened. But yet y'all come up with a whole different conclusion. Interesting.
And it wasn't until after that polled president's daily brief document that you referenced that the Principals Committee was called in the National Security Council, and President Obama then directed Obama's DNI James Clapper to lead the effort to create this new intelligence community assessment.
Woo! It's gonna be hard to weasel off of that hook, you worm. Yep, there it is. Consequences. That's what it comes down to. All of these decisions led to this, and all the evidence shows that you evil people were a part of it. You look at the whole situation of New York and those two guys who ended up shooting the officer. Look at all the things that took place that allowed that to happen. All of that stuff is evidence. The fact that you guys opened up the border, the fact that you're a sanctuary city, the fact that you apprehended these guys multiple times, had them in custody, and let them go, and then all of a sudden, they end up shooting somebody, and then your excuse is that there's nothing here to see, it has nothing to do with us, we didn't do nothing, yet all the evidence shows you did. But you want to blame ICE, you want to blame Trump, you want to blame comprehensive, immigration reform, you want to blame all of that in spite of all the evidence, which shows just how evil these people are. Same thing with this. Tulsi is producing all of the evidence, all of the facts that led up to this, and yet you're going to come out and try to belittle our intelligence and override all of these facts and all of this evidence and just simply say, this is BS, this is nothing but misinformation, this is a distraction. No, you saying that is the distraction.
That detailed not if, but how Moscow attempted to influence the outcome.
Oh, so we don't want to know if they did. We're just going to say they did, and then y'all come up with some fake mess about how.
Of the U.S. election. So this is the thing that I think people should pay attention to is neither the message from President Obama's office, neither the statements coming from Democrats in Congress today.
Yeah, because those are the distractions. They don't want you to pay attention to this evidence that has been revealed. Over here, look, over here. And that's Trump and all of his shenanigans, Trump and his distractions, Trump and his disinformation and misinformation over here. Instead of these declassified documents. I want to see some heads roll.
Their friends in the propaganda media, none of them are addressing this fact that there was a shift, 180-degree shift from the intelligence community's assessment leading up to the election to the one that President Obama directed be produced after Donald Trump won the election.
180% shift. Now, this is the same intelligent community when Obama gave a press conference, said that we should believe him, y'all. Yeah, he got up there and said, it's a shame for us to overlook and not believe our American intel community versus Russia. That's what he was saying. He was up here trying to guilt us into accepting this lie based on saying, well, if you don't, you're picking the Russians over American intel community. Absolutely. It's sad when you got to sit back and say, yeah, in this case, I believe Putin more than you guys. Yeah, Putin was cracking up. Every time they would mention that and ask him, he would just be laughing like, man, I have nothing to do with this mess. Yeah, so these folks over here had their fingerprints and paw prints all over this mess. Now I want to see some heads roll.
That completely contradicted those assessments that had come previously. The second thing I want to address that's very important, Laura, is that you in the clip that you played, you saw John Brennan, James Clapper, James Comey stated with high confidence this January intelligence community assessment that they drafted at the direction of President Obama. The fact is that they used already discredited information like the Steele dossier. They knew it was discredited at that time.
Knew it was discredited. They knew Hillary Clinton played a part in this. But what did they do? Did they expose that? Did they say, nah, we ain't gonna get involved in this mess?
Yet they used it as a source for this document that they claim to have high confidence in. They used intelligence that some of these intelligence community professionals rejected previously.
What? Now, if we do what we're supposed to do, which is lock these people up and put them on trial, I would watch that because that would be the trial of the century. Every single one of these dirtbags who are brought in and have to testify, I would watch that from start to finish. It right there would supersede the Fat Fanny trial. Man, I'd be all over it. Like, I want to see just how big for nothing James Comey is going to explain why he knew that Hillary Clinton put together that dossier. He knew all of that. I want him to explain why he was busted on TV, even admitting to send folks over there to go ahead and entrap Michael Flynn. I want to see how he's going to explain that. Bring in the big guy, Obama. Bring in that dude right there. I want to see him get up there and testify why he changed this outcome. I would love to see that, man. I'd be sitting up there like, oh, yeah. Listen, I just want to say that even though it looks like I'm pretty guilty, I'm not. Now, that's my testimony. I'm not. So let's continue.
Because of the lack of credibility and the lack of the ability to vet with any kind of confidence whether or not that information or intelligence was accurate and could be used for an assessment. There's a long laundry list of facts and intelligence reporting that directly contradict the statement coming from President Obama's office and those who are trying to deflect away from what actually happened, which was after Donald Trump was elected. Led by President Obama, there was an effort to create a document that would serve as a foundation for what would be a years-long coup against President Trump, therefore trying to subvert the will of the American people who sent him to the White House in 2016.
And that, my friends, is called a conspiracy. No statutes of limitations on that one. Bring them all in. Bring in Big for Nothing Comey, Clapper, Brennan, Strzok. Bring them all in, Obama, because nobody is above the law. That's my thing. So now that we've identified this conspiracy, we got it on record. We're talking big game. We're out here throwing the word treason out there. We're talking about conspiracy. We're talking about criminal recommendations. I want some action. So time for some action. Time for some action. Let's get ready to rumble. That's what I want to see. I don't want to hear folks going on Fox talking about how corrupt that administration was and something needs to happen. I don't want even Congress to have to get involved. I want straight DOJ. I don't want Congress to do oversight and an investigation. All of that mess right there takes up time, drags it out. Nope, we got the goods on them. We've actually had the goods on them for a long time. Now that it's all just being released to the public, do something immediately. I'm talking in the next couple weeks. I need to start seeing some heads roll. So God bless y'all. God bless America. Hopefully we will finally deal with some of these evil Democrats. We'll finally see some type of justice take place to where we can say, okay, now I feel a little confident about some of these agencies being restored and having some integrity. So thanks for kicking it with me tonight. About to get ready to go to work after I get some snacks. So, make sure if you get a chance to hit the like button on the way out, share my videos, follow me on all the other platforms. And if you can, support the channel through my Cash App, my PayPal link. Thanks to all those that gave in the super chat. And then, don't forget, check out Kevin's Corner Store. Other than that, I shall be back here tomorrow, same time, maybe, same place. Dog's still not clean, y'all. So I can't show y'all. Can't show y'all the dogs. Not yet, but very soon. All right, now let's get out of here. North got a hands around y'all throats. Yeah. Take care.